And welcome back to the last run of our GSPS block number 1 at Marathon Alliance. And as I mentioned before, this is gonna be Luxor evolved by Vortex. So Vortex, take it away.
Yeah, hi everyone. We're gonna play a game that none of you probably have seen before. And it's gonna be Luxor Evolved, which is an action puzzle game, which is also a genre that nobody ever plays. And I'm just gonna show you how the gameplay loop looks like. It's a sphere matching game, so you match spheres. It's a match free, just like Candy Crush or whatever, but you have a line of spheres that traverses from the entrance to the pyramid. You are defending the pyramid, so basically we always have 2 balls, and you match them, like it's that simple. But it will get more complicated. The basics are very simple, but it's gonna be very fast-paced, and yeah, well, you'll see. It's really hard to explain how much there is to the entire concept. So we are playing on the Elite difficulty, which is the highest difficulty available in the game for no whiners, and it's actually legitimately difficult to the point where it's like almost unfair at times. So I think if we are ready with the time, we can begin in just a bit. So I will count you down. 3, 2, 1, and go. So Luxor is a long-running series from a now-dead studio Mambo Jumbo. And the games were usually like super casual, like your mom could play them. Like, no offense to mom gamers, obviously, but yeah, they were never really known for being fast-paced, they were casual. But in 2012, Mambo Jumbo released Luxor Evolved, which was like everything that Luxor already was, but like pumped up to 11. And that's how Luxor Evolved was created. And it was the last new game in the Luxor series. As you can see, every few matches, and to be exact, every 3 consecutive matches, we are getting power-ups, which help us clear the level faster, slow down time. There are a lot of power-ups. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory, but I will try to go through those that aren't whenever possible. So yeah, we are focusing on getting those consecutive matches to get as many power-ups as possible, because they speed up our clear. In every level we have to defeat a certain amount of scarabs to pass to the next one. The second level is a unique level, because the second level in each stage, because there are gonna be 8 stages. This is a timed challenge where we have to survive, except we are not gonna survive, we are gonna death abuse here, which is something you probably didn't expect from a game about matching spheres, because on every single level when you die, you lose health, and then you either restart the level or go back a bit in time, because you failed to defend the pyramid. But in the time trial, if you fail, you just, oh well, you failed, you still lose a life, but you just pass to the next level. And that's like pretty fast, and you kinda want to go fast in the speedrun. That was a great shot to start a level with. So yeah, a Lightning Storm, a very good power-up to get, like pretty much always useful. It has a, like the logic of that power-up, I'm pretty sure it always targets single spheres, and single spheres in lines are like probably the most annoying thing to deal with, because a single sphere always requires 2 shots, 2 extra shots to be taken off the level. So targeting single spheres is something you want to do with every single spell, with every single power-up that you receive. We are getting so many lightning storms. Obviously, like not making mistakes is also faster. Because yeah, you also get more points, etc, etc. We are not playing for points. Normally people play these games to get more points or to survive if they are like actually into the challenge. But here we have slightly different priorities. One of the things that I'm doing that you can notice is that I'm completely ignoring the treasure that are falling, like all of those stars, keys, anything that you can name that falls on the screen when a scarab is defeated. We are not catching that. Why? Because every certain amount of those treasure, we unlock a secret level, and secret levels are unskippable. So if we trigger one, that is instantly at least 1.5 minutes of time loss. Normally during elite runs, I managed to not get a single secret level, but like even recently during practice I got one, and my run that was almost a PB turned into a 102 or 103. Like I literally got the secret level before the final boss, so that was slightly unfortunate, to say the least. So we are trying to avoid the treasure. However, we are catching the hearts, because the hearts refill our life. Surprising. And we need those lives because we are using the dev abuse on every second level in each stage. I guess this is a good moment to mention that each stage has 8 levels. And that was a black hole. Yeah, we are catching hearts, and the life meter goes up. So we need to have at least 8 lives to survive the entire game, because we are gonna dev abuse 8 times, 1 per each stage. And yeah, this is level 5, and each level 5 in each stage is gonna be a 2-lane level, which means you have even more stuff to keep track of as you are trying to play this. And when things start to get faster and faster, this can be a problem. Especially the way you get a color in your shooter in the middle. Normally it's just random, you get any color that's currently on the screen. But when a line of spheres enters like the zone closest to the pyramid, you always get the color that is very close to the pyramid. And this can be problematic when you have, like you can see here, when you have 2 sides that you have to defend, because you might get a color that's not on the side that you need to defend. So that can be a problem, but fortunately we are through here. Alright, let's get another stop. Yeah, that's hardly ideal, but I guess we are still alive, so that's good. And yeah, it's not very difficult to play so far, even though we were very close to the pyramid, but the lines always slow down, like right before hitting the pyramid. And this is the 6th level in each stage, which is a boss fight. And I didn't mention this before because I forgot, but Luxor is actually based on like very loosely in this case, but it's based on Egypt and its mythology and stuff. So the bosses, oh, what a misplay. So the bosses are actually like mecha incarnations of actual Egyptian gods. And in this case, this was Sekhmet. And the goal of beating a boss is to destroy the line of spheres that is running around their head, I guess. As quickly as possible. The boss can attack us, but like every time we make a match inside the boss's head, the boss will attack us, but we can deny that attack if we destroy the spinner. Which I did every single time in that level, so you didn't see the attack, and you're probably not gonna see a single attack until level 7-6. At least I'm hoping that's gonna be the case, because on 7-6, we'll see. And yeah, so that was the first boss, which was Sekhmet. And Sekhmet is the goddess of destruction, an incarnation of Ra, and she is known kind of like an Athene in the Egyptian pantheon, if you could call it that. She's known from the myth that when humans betrayed Ra, she was the one that was sent to destroy all humans on Earth. Because, you know, Ra didn't like it that humans wanted to overthrow him. So she is the source of destruction, and for beating specific bosses, and Sekhmet is one of them, we unlock super power-ups. And during the levels now, there's gonna be like a shrine that we can destroy. And that shrine gives us 1 stack of the incarnation of Sekhmet, which you can see in the top left corner. There's like a hexagon with 6 chargers that we need to fill, and that will give us a super power-up, which is the incarnation of Sekhmet in this case, and it's just gonna be infinite fireballs for 6 seconds or 5 seconds. I'm actually not sure, I've never timed this. In the meantime, another dev abuse. Nice. So obviously losing another life, but we are continuing because this is the fastest way to progress. Another interesting thing that if you were to play through the entire time trial level, you not only lose time to play the time trial level, but you also after beating it, you get a bonus level. So there's bonus levels and secret levels that you have to kind of avoid, and the bonus level would obviously be another minor time loss. So all the more reason to skip what we can. That's hardly ideal. Okay, and you can see the difficulty is starting to ramp up a bit as I'm trying to stay alive. Probably should be fine. Game is not that difficult when you get used to it, hopefully. Let me look in. Oh, missiles power up, which is kind of weird. Like you get a few missiles that have a very meh area of effect, destruction effect. Why do I get the white? Why do I get the white? You can also shoot a ball off screen if you want to get rid of it. It's not particularly fast because then you have to wait for a reload longer, because you don't get a new sphere until the previous one connects to something or falls off the screen. But in certain situations it's just worth to throw a sphere off screen and then just keep swapping it for the second one. Because when you have two spheres, you can always swap them around, so you can decide which one you use. And one of them can be pretty bad. If you get unlucky, of course. That's a good start. Normally I hate this level, but yeah, it's also worth noting that all the levels that are in this game, you can see them like in this neon atmosphere, right? Because that's the entire design of Luxor Evolved, but Luxor wasn't always like that. And all those levels in the game are actually sourced from previous Luxor games, which I will actually show after the run is done. I'm so confused what to do. Keep in mind it's late at night and I'm trying to play something that actually requires a bit of precision and focus, and I'm trying to talk. I think we're doing fine still. I have a live sprint running in case I would be close to a PB. We are currently like just a minute slower, so it's not a big deal. It's still a good pace. But that's 2-4 done, and 2-5, which is another level 5 in a stage, which is obviously gonna be 2 lines to defend. This one is a bit more annoying than the previous one because of the layouts. At least to play it fast. It's some bad RNG. Obviously all the colors that you get, everything is random, so you have to improvise, adapt, overcome. And we have our first incarnation of Sekhmet, so as you can see, infinite fireball, everything is blowing up. The biggest problem with this is that you have a lot of treasure on the screen at the same time that you really want to avoid, because as I said, if you get to 80, you unlock the first secret level, and we really don't want that. Because it will lose a ton of time. Well, that's unfortunate. And if we were playing the 100% category, then yeah, we would kind of be required to get all the secret levels, but it's not particularly interesting, especially because in the 100% category you also need to do every single timed challenge, which makes the run like, I don't know, I would say at least half an hour longer. It's hard to say because nobody's really run it, and it's not like the game is any popular and has many runners, as you would probably expect from the game of this caliber that you've never heard of. And we are approaching the second boss, which is Geb. Geb is one of the oldest Egyptian gods. He's like literally, he is literally the ground, and his wife is this Kai, right? So he is Geb, and his wife is called Nut or Nut. I don't know which one, but last time I checked it was no Nut November, so probably that's why she's not in the game, and the Geb is. But yeah. Also worth mentioning that the bosses are immune to power-ups. So if I have a power ball, it's not like I can put it inside the boss's head at any time I want. I have to make actual matches to do attacks. As you can see, I'm destroying the spinner, no attack. And then you have to take out the boss's head. And other bosses, like every boss unlocks a power-up, and some of them unlock a super power-up. In this case, we unlocked the toxic, the poison ball power-up, which is like a sphere that you shoot, and when it connects, it spreads like a virus, and some of the spheres get destroyed. I don't want daggers. Daggers are kind of... Okay, I'm gonna get daggers. Daggers are pretty unfortunate. Like, they are a really good power-up, especially for dealing with single spheres, but on Elite, everything is happening so fast that you can hardly aim with them. So you just kinda spam them as fast as possible and hope for the best. Because that's the best strat with most of the power-ups that you can get on this level. Scorpion is one of the more self-explanatory... one of the less self-explanatory ones, I wanted to say. Basically, you summon a scorpion that runs down from the pyramid and eats a certain amount of spheres. And yeah, I will try to lock in on this level because we are actually... this is like a very unfortunate layout to play. And in the meantime, while I'm focusing, I will give the voice over to Kajik.
Sure, no problem. We've been talking about Marathon Alliance a lot, and I don't think we have explained exactly what that means for us, everybody. So, the Marathon Alliance is a collaboration between different European speedrunning organizations, and we decided to throw a one big raid marathon together in order to celebrate all of the different organizations and also help the charity itself, which is Project Hope, as I talked on during the previous one. The current edition is hosted by Bingothon, NSG, which is Norway Speedrunner Gathering, Germench, Speedcon, Nitro Speedrun, GSPS, which is us, and some of Besties. So once we finish with this run, we're gonna take it over to the next part of Marathon Alliance, and we're gonna come back soon enough.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly what he said. Yeah, we've passed that level, and we are on to, I think, the most annoying layout in the entire game. Like, it's so hard to do proper matches here because of how the level is curved. I think you can easily imagine how shooting things that are just, you know, perpendicular, parallel. I wanted to say perpendicular. Yeah. When the level is perpendicular to where you are at, then things are pretty easy. When you get curves like that all over the place, yeah, that's not the most fun experience, because you have very limited areas where you can get like guaranteed shots. So it's hard to navigate, but so far we are actually maintaining 100% accuracy. Oh, poison ball, probably mentioned before. It's unfortunate. This is one of the levels where you can actually die. I mean, you can die on every level, but this is one of those more annoying levels that... Okay. Okay, that's decent. It's not horrible, but... Oh no, what the hell is... What? Yeah, natürlich. What? The game doesn't even know what it's doing. I've never seen that happen. I've honestly never... Okay, we just lost 2 lives for no reason. I've legitimately never seen that happen. So what that means is that we are gonna have to... We are actually gonna game over this. And the good part is, game over doesn't end the run. Bad part is, it still loses a fair amount of time. And we are probably gonna game over somewhere in stage 4, I believe. I'm not sure. Is this our first? That has literally never happened before? That actually has never happened before. Because what happened is that my spheres went into the pyramid, right? And normally when you get the pyramid breach, everything pauses, and then the game pulls out the spheres from the pyramid. However, it didn't pull them far enough, so I got another death instantly after the restart. Which was... yeah, like, what the hell could I have done? Man! And I was kind of like thinking about, oh, maybe I could get a PB here. Because like during the Diras runs, I was actually like catching up to my PB from a few years back. But yeah, now it's basically confirmed dead. But it's like not a problem. Like, this is just a marathon run. Everything can happen. As long as I don't take any more deaths, then it's gonna be decent. And after all, this game is all about the pleasant watching experience. Trying to lock in, not the greatest level. Like I mentioned before, like when the level has a lot of curves, it becomes problematic to play, and this is one of those levels with a lot of... oh, laser! One of those levels with a lot of curves, so it's hard to, you know, line yourself up for all of the shots. So it comes down to practice, like to know where you kind of have to be positioned to actually not miss. Like this area here is probably the easiest to shoot at because it's like just, you know, basically a straight line. But every other place is like a... good luck. Alright, and we are heading into 3-5. Twin Pyramid, one of the most annoying designs of a level, and you can probably see why, but it's actually a pretty short level. Like when you consider the amount of scarabs that you need to beat to pass it, that is like... okay. Not a good shot. It's very easy to miss. Also, I'm not like colorblind, but distinguishing orange from yellow is so difficult sometimes in this game. And I think this is like one of the only levels where you actually have yellow and orange at the same time. So, because I don't recall making this mistake like consistently on any other level than this. So yeah. Totally not colorblind. Don't at me. This is horrible. Can I not get a red? This is... that was a mistake. Sorry, I'm trying to lock in and not lose this. Like I said, this difficulty can be... I'm gonna take this. This difficulty can be a bit unforgiving. When you start slacking off even for a second, then you get everything under your pyramid and... yeah, shit hits the fan. But we recovered. That was funny. Well, I'm glad I said something funny finally, not even aware. But yeah, the third boss, Horus, which is also gonna give us an incarnation of Horus, which is gonna give us infinite lightning whenever we trigger it, and that's actually horrible RNG. Because I can already tell you this is gonna take a lot of shots to clear. We'll see after the run, okay. Okay. Oh, I might know what happened. In that case... okay. This is how an attack looks like. And now I have to deal with the attack and everything at the same time. God damn. Yeah, this is a very slow Horus. A boss fight can be pretty long if you get unlucky, which is like boss fights are where most of your time loss and time gain can be in this. Holy shit! No. Certified skill issue. Okay. We can one-shot this now if I get an orange. I'm gonna Sudoku. Yeah, hello guys. I totally know how to play this game. Have a lot of experience. Yeah, yada yada yada. Yeah. Totally. Yep. Cope. God damn it. Yeah. Hello guys, my name is Vortex, and yeah, I just lost 1.5 minutes on a single boss fight. That's normally pretty easy. Thumbs up from me. And we are heading into stage 4. So I was too distracted by Horus giving me a bad time that I didn't get the chance to talk about him. Because Horus is actually one of the most important gods in the Egyptian mythology. He's obviously almost always represented as a falcon, because he is the god of the sky, and like his entire story arc is that Set, who we will also cover later, killed his father in a fight over the throne. So literally Horus's life is literally taking revenge on Set, and they kinda fight for 80 years, or probably even longer. Like the mythology is pretty vague, like you get a lot of different versions of myths, etc. But yeah, his entire life is basically fighting with Set and avenging his father. And Horus obviously wins. I mean, not obviously, but he wins. What I also have in the notes that he was the first pharaoh, but I'm actually not sure if that's the truth. I actually wrote that down from memory, and don't really remember if that was the case. Another death abuse level, but we don't have lives. Okay, we're gonna take the L here. I'm gonna show you how the game over screen looks like, just because I'm sure you're curious how a game over looks like. Only reason, totally not related to us dying twice on 3-3. Oh, see, game over. But the game is nice enough to let us continue, but we lose all of our points and lose the stacks of super... Sorry, I just saw the message in chat, I will read it in a bit. The game allows us to continue, but it resets some of our progress, which is very convenient in a speedrun, because if we were to lose a run like about now, that's pretty horrible, especially during a marathon. And yeah, failed to survive again, but we get 3 lives back and we can continue our jolly adventure. Which Egyptian god would you trust the most to get your groceries? That's a question from the chat, and honestly, probably Geb. Like, from what I've read about him, he was a chill dude. Guy is literally the earth. Like, he's not going anywhere. Probably knows all the best places to buy, like, local produce. He's the god of earth, so yeah. I'm gonna say Geb. Definitely not Set. Like, Set is literally the bad guy in the mythology. Like, he has some good stuff that he did, but for the most part, he literally all he did was kill Osiris, which is Horus's dad, and then like annoy everyone. Kind of like Loki, I guess. He's not going anywhere, he is sure not going to get your groceries though. I mean, at least I can trust him to not fuck it up. And bring something else, I don't know. Or at least he's not gonna run away with my money, that's a better way to end this. But he is the earth, he doesn't need to go anywhere. He is already there. He doesn't need to. Geb's Garden, by the way, speaking of Geb. Because the levels actually also have names, and most of them also reference, well, would you know, Egypt, sorry, for my lack of proper pronunciation. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I will talk more about the design of levels if you're interested about it after the run, because I actually have a PowerPoint presentation ready to say some more about that. So Geb would buy cheaper, healthier or cheaper alternatives. Actually, I'm not sure. Depends on his mood, I guess, because he probably knows where to get both. He'll definitely get something. Explosions, yada yada. That is stop. Can I get normal colors? What is this? Yeah, like I said, you sometimes just don't get the right color. I had a... Oh, laser! Laser is literally the most OP power-up in the game. You just swing across the screen and it blows everything up. Seth strikes me as the guy who would say yeah sure, but then just wouldn't go yeah. He would just... I would say he would probably get the groceries, but then he would just like bring them to you and set them on fire. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from Seth when I was reading about him. Set on fire? No, I did not do that. God, the jokes write themselves. I don't even need to do anything. Well, I still need to play the game. This is actually a very interesting level because you always get generated like long lines of already like ready to be shot lines of spheres with only a few singular ones. You know what, I started to think of what I'm explaining, and I realized that if you... I had a laser and then it got replaced for a toxic shot. GG. I realized that I'm throwing around a lot of comments about the gameplay, which are like not very easy to understand when you haven't spent like 10 hours at least of your life in this game. Sorry for that. Like I said, this is such a simple game, you literally just connect spheres, but there's so much going on the screen. Speaking of which, Mecha Osiris, which is Horus's dad, that was killed, and then his wife, Isis, resurrected him, and then they created Horus. And then Osiris kinda died and became the god of the Duat, which is the land of the dead. So, yeah, this guy is basically dead. And he's a dad. And what's interesting, like, you know how most of the Egyptian gods are usually portrayed as animals? Well, this guy isn't. This guy is just a guy. He's literally a dude. But, mummified. Got attacked. And for whatever reason, like, he always has a very difficult line of spheres to beat, like, a lot of singular ones. Goddamn bosses. Missed. Respect single dance. Not where I was going with it, but sure. Every time you manage to attack a boss, he's like... Hold up. He's like shaking in both directions, so it's hard to block the attack. I mean, that's the gimmick. You need to know where to aim, kind of. I am gonna snap. There, I snapped. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, okay. And he's done. Done and dusted. Okay. So, for beating Osiris, we get the freeze shot. I guess that's some sort of reference that he's lying cold dead in the ground. And freeze shot, well, freezes anything it hits. I guess you could say that there are two types of power-ups. Ones that are instantly activated when you catch them, and ones that you have to actually shoot yourself. I mean, by yourself, don't shoot yourself. Oh yeah, freeze shot! Yay, winter! Okay. I'm starting to lose my mind here, it's 4 AM. Actually, almost 5. And those that... Yeah, and freeze shot is one of them that you have to basically do it yourself. I don't know where I was going with this, honestly. I had some idea, but then I got distracted by actually getting the freeze shot. Oh yeah, stop. Stop is like almost always useful, especially when you want to stay alive. But the problem is, I mentioned before that the way to complete a level in Evolved is by destroying a certain amount of scarabs. Then slowing down a level with power-ups like stop and slow is actually, like in a speedrun, it's actually something you don't want to do. But then again, the levels can be so difficult that you can't really avoid getting those stops, so it's you kind of have to balance it out. I'm sometimes ignoring the stop power-up, but most of the time I do actually still get it to, you know, to shoot better, because accuracy is what makes you go fast in this game as well. Which, yeah, probably not that unexpected, all in all. We are in stage 5. So we are one stage away from the hardest level in the game. I always like to mention that because, like, if you want to, like, a real highlight of the run, I always think that the level 6-3 is exactly that. Because it's the shortest level, like, in terms of length, not time. And it's literally the hardest, so, yeah. Definitely not something you would want to miss if you want to see any part of this run. And in the meantime, we have a cute little pyramid level. And while we are stuck in the pyramids, maybe you would like to say something more, Kazik?
Sure, no problem. Let me just tell you that we have some nice incentives when it comes to donations. Because in just a couple of hours we're gonna have on Germench a Pokemon Red and Blue run, when you can choose a file name, which also means that you can choose a character name with the same exact bid war. So you can write your own thing, or you can bet on something that is a very popular choice right now when it comes to Polish ones, Fifąż. So I highly recommend choosing something out of those. Just type in the chat ! Donate, or just write in your browser gspspl/MA. Thank you.
Thanks. Definitely donate for Fifąż. Big meme. Who would have thought that through accuracy you get faster? Yeah. It's almost like making mistakes makes you go slower. It's pretty interesting how they found all these DJs with names based around the Egyptian mythology for the soundtrack. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. But yeah, also the DJ names are made up, and I think it's not even names of the soundtrack; it's remixes of the levels, not the songs. At least I'm like 10% sure about that, which is more than one. Why don't we get a slow? Obviously, good power up to get when you have to navigate a tight level. This is also one of the harder levels. I should have started the run like saying, like, during every single level in the beginning that, oh, this is one of the harder levels. Oh, this is one of the harder levels. Santa is not real. Yeah, basically. This is very unfortunate. But we can recover. We can recover. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. We cannot recover. We can recover. We this is going before we are so dead and we are so fucking back like 10 times a second. We are so dead. We are not dead. We are so dead. Okay, pyramid breached. Happens. All the words are made up. True. So we have 2 pyramid breaches, which is excellent. Today's group exercise, make up a speedrunner? Yeah. I mean, people who run Luxor are pretty made up anyways, like who even heard about that game? How would you run it? Wandering Scribes, Papyrus Mix 2000 years BC, did you see that? Totally real guy. Also, it's the Papyrus from Undertale. Legit lore. Okay. Then I need to focus a bit on playing, because I started to just have fun with the commentary. Yo. Instead of doing what we are here to do. And I kind of want to finish fast, because I actually, since I already made a PowerPoint presentation about levels, I kind of want to show it, right? Okay, now, that's better. Explosions happening everywhere. That was a missed shot, but nobody saw that. Boom. Green. Green. Color sorter, which is kind of useless in this game. Actually, color sorter is one of the most OP power-ups in the entire Luxor series, but it's also only... like, it's only OP in Luxor 3 and 4. Because in this game it's kinda got nerfed, because it doesn't fully sort all the spheres into groups of colors, but it like kinda sorts some of them, but others no. It's weird. So yeah, the most OP power-up got nerfed. A real shame. Dude who goes absolutely horrid run about a PB with 7 back-to-back goals on it. Dang it, I thought it was about the font. Oh yeah. He's a 10, but names always splits as of a cubicle. He's a 10, but he only has one split name done. He's a 10, but turns off the recording by accident during PBs. Yeah, he doesn't record his PBs. That's better. That was a quick Sobek. Sobek is almost always a very easy boss for whatever reason, like he has large groups of the same color, so if you beat him in like 3 shots, it's pretty much the norm. But yeah, about Sobek, this is like literally the god that I have the least to say about. You know, like every single other god in this game has some sort of connection to each other, and Sobek is kind of like, all I can tell you about him is that he looks like a crocodile. And that's like literally it. Man's a crocodile. I don't know. Like he's probably a sibling of someone else from the lore. But that's basically it. He has no, like, there's no stories, no very important stories about him and other gods. So yeah, all the other 7 gods are very connected, and he's just there. He's just happy to be there. He's vibing. I mean, he just got killed, but he's vibing. Probably. In Valhalla. As we are starting stage 6, and as I said, we are gonna have the most difficult level on the game coming right after the... What the heck? Ojejku. Sobek sounds like Sebek. Lizard God is streetwise. True, I mean, fair point. So now another death abuse, and we are gonna start Nefertari Scholar with 1 extra life, which is good. So yeah, here we are trying to well, die as quick as possible. One thing about these levels is that it's actually pretty hard to lose on purpose, because you need a different mindset. You actually can't make matches. And yeah, that was 6-2. We are only 4 minutes behind PB, this is not bad. And now 6-3, I am locking in. Kazik, if you want to say something, now's a lot of time for you.
Okay, so as you prepare and focus on the most difficult level that you're hopefully gonna get first try, let me just say that you are currently watching GSPS. If you haven't heard about us before because you came from somewhere else, let me just tell you that GSPS means Gramy Szybko, Pomagamy Skutecznie in Polish, and it's a Polish speedrunning marathon that runs biannually in Kraków. The name translates loosely to play fast, help efficiently, and the next event will gonna be announced soon, so if you want to come to Poland and visit us and see some amazing runs, including the ones we've seen so far on our channel, just follow us and stay up to date.
Thanks. Truly good event. Been there 5 times, probably more. I actually cannot really... Like, this level is horrible. Like, it's too short, it has a very small, like, the zone where the spheres go slow. Whatever, rockets, yeah, go rockets. Hell. On Earth. Meteors, yeah, sure, give me some meteors. Reverse, okay. Yep, this is fine, we are actually not losing yet. Does all of that get sucked in? First try! Okay, nice.
GG.
Thanks. Yeah, that is basically can be a run killer if you don't have enough lives. And I mean run killer. You can't really fully lose a run by losing a level, but yeah, it's definitely a big time loss. And if you didn't have, when you don't have an extra life, when you breach the pyramid, then you have to restart the entire level, which in this case doesn't really help because you still need to do that difficult level. And we are moving on into basically the end game. Oh, laser is always good. We're about to have the incarnation of Horus. Let's take it. And now I have infinite lightning bolts, which I can just spam at the entrance to the level, and then move a bit to avoid all the treasure. That was a good level. Yeah, not a lot of gameplay, but good level, I guess. Hey, you wanted a gold split. Who said I wanted a gold split? I was gonna do a gold split. This was a 2 seconds gold split, guys. We are so back. Another thing about running this game is that gold splits are completely irrelevant because of how random the levels can be and how many factors there are when it comes to finishing a level quickly. So right now I only finished quickly because I had the incantation. The incantation! The incarnation of Horus, but normally I don't have it, so I'm gonna lose time compared to my Sum of Besties. Shoutouts to Sum of Besties, another marathon we're running with. So yeah, like my PB is 20. My PB is 59, 30, and my Sum of Best is over 10 minutes faster, and I will never reach that time. Because, yeah, it's just too random. Or you can just say I have a skill issue. Also works. Nah, but really, it's there's a lot of randomness involved. Very random, yet entirely on the rails. Yeah, there's still, like, you still need to play it kinda well if you want to play it fast, but there is a luck element to it as well. Sometimes you just need to control it a bit. And now we are fighting Ra, which is probably like literally the most important Egyptian god of all time. Like if you haven't heard of Ra, like even about the curse of Ra in memes, like where do you live? Under which pyramid? Like he is literally the sun. Guy literally pushes the sun every single day. This guy pushes the sun into the sky. I forgot what the sky is called. Great. All by himself, he is pushing the sun, and every single night he is in the land of darkness, and he is fighting a snake, who is called Apophis. And yeah, that's the lore of Ra. There's also more, but I kind of forgot. Like, it's not like I'm an expert on Egypt. It's just kind of well, I kind of like those Luxor games, so I read about it. Luxor Evolved doesn't have a story, but some of the previous games had a story. Unfortunately, most of those games are not really runnable. Except for one. But that's a long story. About that, and we've beat Ra. So according to everything you said before, the guy is pushing himself into another guy's wife. Wait, what? It's Zeus all over again? Kind of? Like, there is a lot of myths in the mythology, and it's hard to find good sources. Like for Greek and Roman myths, you kind of have like pretty reasonable sources, like good literary text, etc. But for Egypt, it's pretty hard. Opens mythology myths. Impossible. I mean. Perhaps the archives are incomplete. Ooh, red. No. Oh, Scorpion will finish it up. Yup. Morality alignment chart, but instead of between lawful and chaotic, the scale is between wood, shag on his part and shag other people's partners. Sure. I see we are going fully off the rails. It is that time of the day. Or night, however you prefer to describe this. I would say this is like pretty... Like it's a late evening, alright? I'll give you that. I miss going to sleep this late, honestly. Back in my days, I didn't have to wake up at 6 AM for work. So, yeah. 7-3, and we are... Actually, we have good points. Oh, actually, about points. Normally, we don't care about points during the speedrun. However, the more points we get, the more power-ups we unlock. Like, except for those that are exclusively unlocked by bosses. We also unlock power-ups through score. So, technically, getting more score is beneficial. Because the power-ups become more powerful. And we are about to unlock the Smart Bomb, which is a very weird power-up. And honestly, the name is completely inaccurate. Because I've only used it like 3 times, and it's not very smart. Out. What the fuck is my cat doing? Okay, whatever. Let's ignore that. I heard some scratching and I thought it's just gonna, I don't know, break through the door or something. The cat is mad because I closed the door on him, on her, and I'm playing games. I don't think she would subscribe to GSPS after that. Just like the old days, you're awake at 5 AM? Hell yeah! Zeus would take all the spots in the chart at the same time. Usually that was because you were waking up at the time. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I used to work the graveyard shift. So, yeah. I miss those times. Now I suffer. But don't we all? Alright, another level, and you can see that there's like a lot of just 5 spheres long lines here. And it's pretty annoying to deal with, and they just basically they comment on the screen and comment on the screen. Like this is so much, so many lines at the same time. And I made my usual mistakes when I look at my 2 spheres and I fire them in the wrong order, which is amazing. Epic. Oh no. Either 412 or 1523, yeah. Gladly accept any shift that goes 20-6. Yeah, 20-6 is great. I would do that like anytime. Like even if they skipped the night bonus, yeah, that's my jam. In the meantime, oh, laser. Laser is always good. I think I've said that like 3 times already. Yeah, I kinda ran out of things to say. I'll admit it. We've out-Luxored ourselves. It's like, you know, like who has even heard about the game? But I was thinking like about hosting a tournament. Just to make an incentive for people to play the game. Because I'm curious, like, is it that difficult to learn? Because I've heard people say this game is unplayable. Just Japanese devs, I can speak Nihonese, yeah. It's my favorite language. Well, that's horrible. We are 5 minutes behind. I feel like we are 12 minutes behind compared to PB, of course. So yeah, that's not exactly the most fair comparison, but that's what I have just to know where we are sitting. And we are approaching Mecha Isis. And now I can give you the recap of the same story again about how Set killed Osiris, which was Isis's husband or whatever. And then, yeah, she got mad and resurrected him. And they had a kid. Which was Horus. And Osiris kind of has, Isis kind of has a short temper. As you can see, she already, like, went into sleep mode. She has very fast attacks, but when she exhausts herself, she goes into this, like, kind of sleep mode, and she is very easy to take out. You can beat her before that happens, but it's very rare. Like, her attacks are annoying to deal with because of how fast they come. And we are in the final chapter of the game, stage 8, which has one very interesting level, which is 8-4. And other than that, it just has a couple of annoying level designs. This is one of them. Like, it's so annoying to look at all those lines not being straight. Oh, can we maybe get a... Yes! Yeah, that was the incarnation of Ra. We just get infinite lasers. It's not really that powerful, but I sometimes never get it during a run, so... Because I kinda get it, like, really late. You unlock it at the end of stage 6, so you don't have that much more of the game left ahead of you. Fun fact about the game is that in the files you can find that the game had a stage 9 planned, and there are files for most of the levels, I believe. But it was never created for whatever reason. And now you can only read it about... and now we can only read about it in the wiki or here on the GSPS stream, I guess. The final 4 hours challenge, which we are gonna lose on purpose. Actually, I didn't mention this, but like all of the levels that are used in as 4 hours challenges are new levels. So like some of the previous levels were redesigns of older games levels, and then the 4 hours challenges are always new levels designed just for this game. And the portals that you see in the middle, they didn't exist in previous games because they weren't as futuristic as this one. They were based on Egypt. You had like, you know, deserts, sands, camels, whatever have you, ruins. But there was something that resembled portals, because the spheres could go like underground and come out in a different place on the map. So the portals are actually not really a new feature, except that they look kinda new from the design perspective of the... Oh, chain lightning! This is the power-up that we unlocked for beating ISIS. It kinda... I have no idea how it works, but it blows stuff up, so that must be good, right? It's kind of the logic behind most of those power-ups, and this is gonna get pretty hectic soon. Boom. This is gonna get pretty hectic soon, and like as if it wasn't hectic for the past 50 minutes or so. Okay. Pretty good. So now we are heading into 8-4, and what's unique about 8-4 is that there is only one line of spheres here. Like, literally, there's only one. There's not gonna be any scarabs. Which is both a blessing and a curse. And it's also one of the more difficult levels. Although normally it gets done pretty quickly, unless you make stupid mistakes like this one. And that one, that's a good power-up to get early on. I don't like how close to the pyramid I am currently. That's a good power-up. It's a good power-up. Most power-ups are good. That was a bad shot. Wild Ball is also a very cool power-up, but it's very... It would be more useful if everything was slower. Because it requires good aim to use it properly. Because basically Wild Ball is, as you can expect, a wild card. So if you put it between two colors, it always matches. So you can have a match of like white, Wild Ball and red. Which normally you would need 4 shots to deal with, but with a Wild Ball you need just 1. So the last level 5, last dual lane level. And we are approaching the final battle. And you might expect who the final boss is, because we've already mentioned him, and yes, it's Set himself. And he is the most annoying boss of them all. Because he is attacking fast, just like ISIS, but he has 6 spinners that he blocks everything with. He has a long-ass head. And spoilers, yeah. I'm getting you hyped up, that's different. I bet you're so hyped right now. all the three of you. But yeah, we are approaching the end of the run. So I hope you actually enjoyed looking at a game that you will never ever see again in your life. But at least, you know, it's something. I normally do racing games. If you don't know me, but now you know me. I normally do racing games, but this is a very HD inducing game. So I can't. Like I always enjoy it. It's just the perfect amount of chaos in directly injected into your veins. That's a freeze shot. That's not very fortunate. Good. Nice. And pop. Okay, and now we are heading into the final level, Mecha Set. Oh, nice blur on my camera. That was a nice dramatic effect. And you can see he has 6 spinners. Final boss. Ooh. This looks good. This looks like good RNG actually. Okay. Here. Yeah, he attacks so fast that you... Unless you shoot immediately, there is no way you can get rid of the spinners. You can hear some dubstep. Very, very reminiscent of the era this game comes from, which is 2012. One more attack. We need orange. Give me 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 orange. Orange, you glad I got. You know what, Set? Fuck you too. Orange? Okay, orange. Give me orange. Orange. Give me your head. Give me your head. Time! I forgot about time. Yes, time. I don't know if you stopped it or not, but yeah, that was the end of the game. And now for the epilogue, because the epilogue is also like decently cool to show. I don't know what the time is on stream. I see a 106. So now the game shuts down because it's obviously like styled to be like an arcade machine. We got a reboot of the arcade machine. And another thing that's cool to show is gonna be the credits, because the credits are actually interactive, and I believe they are a part of the 100% run as well, which is pretty funny. But you can lose time on the credits, guys. You can lose time on the credits. And in the meantime, Kazik, do I still have time to do a small presentation? I think I do, right?
Yeah, you're pretty much on time, so we have plenty.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, boot up success, and now we get the credits. So what would you expect? Well, more levels that you can play through. They are obviously a lot slower than your normal levels on Elite, but they actually do count towards the 100% completion. Because if you went back to the main menu now, it would say only 99% complete. And this is like, yeah, still technically a part of the game. So yeah, let me just clear up the clear up the credits real quick. I guess that's a sentence you don't hear every day. And I'm gonna miss this one. Time loss. I'm also shoutouts to everyone in the QA for this game. It's like there's very little bugs, and that's the end of the credits, and that's the final screen for this. So 64 out of 80 treasure, which is what would have triggered the secret level. But yeah, now I'm gonna take you on a trip through some of the previous levels that we've played, and I need to close the game actually. And yeah, welcome to the Luxor Evolve extra presentation, which is gonna where we're gonna talk a bit about the levels that we played, because I told you I was yapping that the levels are redesigns of the previous games, right? So why not look at those previous games? So this is the first level of the game, which is Skull of Thoth. So that's how it looked like in the original Luxor 1. So this is basically the graphic design of Luxor 1. You can see it's basically the same level, but it's mirrored and kind of at an angle. This is level 1-3, Nermer's Palettes from Luxor Amun Rising. Also, same deal, mirrored. They are sometimes mirrored, sometimes they are identical. Level 1-4, Hador's Loving Embrace, also taken from Luxor. This is Amun Rising. You can recognize it by the UI. Also, kind of same thing, mirrored. 1-5, the first multi-line level, identical from Amun Rising. Then 2-1, which is the first level from Luxor 2. You can see that the graphics are much better, and it's also mirrored. And you know, I was making this presentation, and at this point I kind of realized that if I wanted to go through all the slides, then yeah, I kind of, like, I don't want to waste that much time like explaining all of this. So we're gonna just go through some more of the more interesting levels. So remember 2-4, this level, which has a kind of annoying layout? Well, this is how it looked like in Luxor 2. It could have been worse. Like, you barely see where the lines are going. And yeah, that's how it looked like in Luxor 2. Then we have 2-5, which is the first level that's based on a level, but different, because in the original game it's just a single line level, but in Evolved it's a 2-line level, which is like 2 of the same levels. And in the original it's called Nefty Garden, but in Evolved it's called Nefty Gardens. Oh, because there's 2 of them! No way! Okay, so this is Rebirth Under Ra, which was also this was the level where we lost. And this is the only level that was taken from Luxor 5, which is the worst Luxor game of all time. Don't play Luxor 5 if you want to play any game. Like, it was one of the last games, and it doesn't even support like normal full screen, which is crazy. 3-4, which is the level that's loosely based on this. Like, they are similar, but it's apparently based on it. Also one of the more annoying levels, but you can see that there are the portals, like I said before, you have the portals, and in the original game you had like the track would cross itself and like go underground. So that's that. Then you have the twin pyramids, which I also complained about, that it's an annoying design, and this is one of the 2 levels that are sourced from Luxor 3. So you have already Luxor 1, 2, Amun Rising, 3 and 5. And there are no levels from Luxor Quest for the Afterlife in this game, because I guess, yeah, get scammed. And the level is actually called different in the original game. Festival of Jubilee, which is another level which got an upgrade, because it's kinda like very basic in the original game, and it got kinda upgraded, like some extra curves here and there. Wings of Ra, another level from Luxor 3. You can see that the graphics are really good in Luxor 3 compared to the previous games. Yeah, it was a very fun level. Opening of the Mouth Ceremony, also another level that got a redesign, like the line is very, very long. Also, Opening of the Mouth Ceremony is like a traditional Egyptian ceremony that's done to the dead. Like the priest is touching the mouth, eyes and ears of a dead person with a special tool for the ritual, and that helps them see, hear and something in the afterlife. Like, it's basically like Egypt lore. So yeah, all the levels that I'm not mentioning are basically like the same as the original. So I had to mention Nefertiti cringe color, because yeah, it's called Nefertari collar, but you don't see the collar, so this is how it looks like in the original. It's actually a collar. This is Nile Libations. And this is a level that you would never recognize how it looks like in the original game, because that's how it looks like in the original game. And to help you visualize it, this is how the path looks like. Alright, there was supposed to be a screenshot of this here. Oh, that's unfortunate. And one more thing I wanted to show you, because we didn't see this during the run, fortunately. The secret levels. And the secret levels are actually like loosely based on other arcade games. Which is like, you have Asteroids, you have, this is called like Insane, I don't know what the game is, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Centipede, Dig Dug, I don't remember the name, Pac-Man, and the Sphere thing. And I'm also gonna mention the Path of the Marble King, which is the third secret level, because it looks cool, it's like at an angle, and it's the only level that has a different pyramid in it, because it's like also 3D. And yeah, 2 of the levels in the game are completely original, except for the time trial ones. And that's it for the Luxor presentation, which you are never gonna see ever in your life. Nobody is ever gonna show you a Luxor presentation. So yeah, that's it from me. Thank you for the run. Thank you for the Luxor PowerPoint presentation. Can I go to sleep? Kazik, let's wrap this up.
Thank you so much for the run as well, and for some very important info about Luxor in general. I think that even though I've never played that game, I am so knowledgeable right now.
I am carrying the Luxor speedrunning community solo, but I am also the only member. It's hard to carry myself. Yeah.
But you're doing a pretty good job so far, let me say. Okay, but that was it for us for this entire segment of GSPS at Marathon Alliance. We're gonna come back on Sunday at 6 p.m. or 18 if you're in Central Europe. So we're gonna be back with some more runs, but now we're gonna give it back to Germensch, which is gonna have a English restream or Marathon Alliance's channel, which we're gonna raid as soon as it's possible, because we have to wait for them to be online. So just be patient with us, and if you want to see more speedruns, just stay tuned, and we're gonna raid them soon enough. In the meantime, we're gonna go for a break screen just before the raid happens. So once again, thank you so much, Vortex, for the run. And from all of us at GSPS, the tech crew, the hosts, the mods, and the runners, thank you for watching, and see you in a bit.
Bye.